Are you a coach, an expert, a consultant who is tired of putting in countless hours into your business and still not seeing the six-figure results that you deserve? Well, what if I told you that there is a proven way to hit six figures and even scale beyond that while working less and earning more? So today I'm going to reveal the exact steps that my clients use to build profitable, systemized businesses from scratch or use existing businesses to scale. So stick around, and by the end, you're going to know how to set up your business to attract high ticket clients on autopilot. So, hello, I'm Heather Blaise. I am a business coach specializing in helping entrepreneurs just like you achieve six-figure success while freeing up their time for what truly matters. And over the past 20 years, yes, 20 years, I've been doing this since around 1996, helping business owners succeed since then. I've guided countless business owners to financial freedom, and today I'm here to help you do the same. So, my clients consistently create irresistible offers, automate their systems, and position themselves as industry leaders by following my strategies. And they've not only hit six figures, but also found time to enjoy life with family and friends, because that's what it's all about, right? We want to start these businesses, but a lot of times what happens is we start jobs for ourselves, and we don't want to get into that. And I'm going to give some details around that in a minute. So if you're ready to experience that too, how to reach those six figures or hit six figures, but also find time with your family and friends, then stay tuned. I'm simplifying and breaking them down, the exact steps that will get you to six figures and beyond, that we're going to cover today are: one, how to shift from a worker mentality, or sometimes I call it employee mindset, worker mentality, to what I call an empire mentality, and why this keeps you stuck, and how if you don't get over this, you will never get the flexibility that you're craving from your job. Um, and number two, we're going to go over how to create and communicate a high ticket offer that people will pay you 3,000, 10,000, maybe even more, maybe, 12,000, 50,000. They'll pay you a lot. It's a high ticket offer for around what you're offering. And stick with me. Maybe you're thinking like, I don't think I can do that with what I'm offering. I bet you can. Number three, we're going to go over the secret to automating your business so it works for you, not the other way around. And number four, we're going to go over how to set up a pipeline or a funnel that consistently attracts high ticket clients to you. So by the end, you'll have a roadmap to success that you can start implementing right away. So let's start off with the step one, okay? Shifting from that worker or employee mentality to empire mentality. So, by addressing this mindset shift, you absolutely must make it to hit six figures. You have to, have to, have to. Nothing's going to work unless you take care of this first. Okay. So, many of you watching this, you're stuck in what I call this worker mentality. You're hustling hard, you're managing every little detail, burning the candle at both ends, but not really seeing the results that you want. Does this sound familiar? Um, you know, but the hard truth is that you can't build a six-figure business by being the worker and the CEO. Think about it. We're taught this our whole lives. Okay. Our society is built around this. Our parents, our friends, our teachers, everybody around us is taught to be workers. Our society is built around being workers. We're not taught to be business owners. We're not taught to be entrepreneurs. So unless a parent or someone close to us has actually had a successful business, and I'm not talking about one that they have to show up for or they don't get paid. I'm talking about a proper business. If they have to show up, that's self-employed. That's different than having a business. Having a business has systems, has, like what I'm talking about here, you're the CEO of the business. You're working on the business, not in the business. Okay. But everybody around you, unless you've had that, has also been trained to be a worker. So have you ever owned a business before, or someone you know? How would you know? unless someone shows you. So if you're stuck in this, or you feel like you've created a job and you have to do everything yourself, that's the worker mentality that we've been programmed with our whole lives. And it's really hard to get out of it by yourself because you don't know what you don't know, right? It's up in your blind spot. There's something like there's things that you know, right? You know how to maybe I don't know what you know how to pick up a phone, okay? Something you know that you know how to pick up a phone. You know that maybe you don't know how to fly a plane. Okay? You might know how to fly a plane, but most of us don't. Most of us know that we don't know how to fly a plane, but then there's that stuff in the background where it's like you don't know what you don't know. So you don't even know what to look for because it's totally in the blind spot. And that's why it's really helpful to have somebody pull you out of this. This is something, the first thing I work on with my clients. So you need to adopt this empire mentality. So picture this, okay? Just to explain it a little bit in more detail. You're the captain of a ship. Now, if you're down in the engine room sweeping it out and managing the machinery, and you can't steer the ship, right? You need to be on the deck, setting the course, seeing where you're headed, and making decisions from that vantage point. Does that make sense? So it's really hard to do both at the same time, almost impossible, right? Unless you've got, the captain has got everything automated, or something down there is all automated or whatever, right? So, and I first actually noticed this when I was growing Quiznos subs. So we bought the master franchise rights for Quiznos Canada. I don't know if you've ever heard of Quiznos, but it was a big, giant chain. Um, back in the day, and that's where I started back in 1996, was growing that. I helped grow it from 6 stores to over 250 franchises, and I did everything there was to do with growing that, like finding locations, looking at blueprints, going and setting up the stores, doing the trade shows, selling the franchises, helping the franchisees market, hire, train, set everything up. And then I would go in and make sure that they were following what they were supposed to be doing in order to succeed. And that's when I noticed that the ones that did everything. They had to be behind the cash register. They had to be doing the food. They had to open. They had to close. They got burned out. They did everything, right? Because they couldn't trust anybody behind the cash register. They had to do it. But the ones that succeeded, they were like the captains. They were kind of orchestrating everybody. They had a cashier in place. They had someone making the subs on one side. They had someone making the subs on the other side of the oven, right? So it was like this conveyor belt. And then they would orchestrate, make sure that whoever was cleaning up the restaurant was cleaning up the restaurant, that everything was going like clockwork, going smooth, going quick, because people were on their lunch breaks, things like that, or dinner breaks or whatever. It had to be quick, right? Because they were such a small ticket item, you had to get out as much as possible in order to make the money. Make sense? So anyway, the ones that were like the captains that orchestrated, they went on to build multiple franchises, and they were wealthy, and they did really well, and they could take vacations with their families because they had the systems in place, they had the people in place, they made sure that it was all orchestrated. The ones that had to control everything and do everything themselves, they got burned out. They couldn't sustain it. It wasn't sustainable. So I'm just trying to give you that perspective of that it's the same thing for any business. If you're doing everything yourself and you don't have the systems in place or the people in place, to execute those systems, you're going to get burnt out. And so that's what we're talking about here. So as the CEO of your business, you should be really focused on strategy, vision, and leadership. And what does that mean practically? It means you must stop working in your business, answering every email, designing every piece of content, handing out or handling every small decision, and start working on your business. And this is how you can create the systems that will really allow you to scale. Okay, does that make sense? There's a great book out there. I think it was called The E-Myth Revisited, actually. I can't remember who wrote it, but that I always had every franchisee of mine, I put that as part of the training because I designed the training as well for that all the franchisees would go through, and the operations manuals and everything for the whole system. And that was part of it. That was part of their curriculum that I had them read. And I bet you anything that the ones that didn't follow what we're talking about here probably didn't read it. You can give stuff to people. Sometimes they don't follow through. But anyway, so here's a tip. Okay, start by identifying just one task that you can delegate or automate. So it might be your social media posts, maybe scheduling appointments or handling client inquiries. But once you get that off your plate, you'll feel the shift and you'll start to see that you can lead your business without being completely bogged down in that daily grind. And maybe you feel like I can't hire people to do it because I'm just starting out. Well, I'm here to tell you that a lot of these things can be automated instead of hiring people for little cost, and or the cost is very minimal compared to the income that it'll generate. So, and we'll get into more detail about that in a minute. But moving on, let's move on to step two. And if you're here with me, say hi. Say hi here in the comments. And if you want me to give you a little shout out, if you're here with me live, um, I will be happy to do that. You just have to put your name in the comments because I can't really see it. So let's move on to step two, creating a high ticket offer that sells. So the heart of scaling your business to six figures is creating a high ticket offer. So a lot of entrepreneurs make the mistake of thinking um, that they need more experience, more followers, more certifications. I just had this one the other day. I'm DMing back and forth with somebody right now about this. Or they need a perfect brand before they can charge a premium prices. But let me tell you something, okay? Your clients aren't paying for a nice logo or a shiny website. They're paying for, can you guess it? Maybe put this in the comments. They're paying for results. I know I talk about this a lot, but that's what they're paying for. They're paying for the results, okay? So how do you create an offer worth 3,000 to 10,000 or more? The secret lies in solving a major problem for your ideal client. And I want you to think about this. What is the most pressing problem that your clients are facing right now? What keeps them up at night? What's something that they're willing to invest in to solve that you can help them with? So, let's take an example. Like I had this client who was a wellness coach and she had all these services and courses and she could help anybody, but none of them were positioned as a high ticket offer. And she was pricing them really low, hoping that by offering more and for less, that more people would buy. But but it didn't work. So here's what we did. We narrowed her focus. We narrowed it to a single high impact transformation. So instead of offering a little bit of everything at a lower price, she crafted a program specifically for busy moms who wanted to regain their energy and lose weight without spending hours and hours in the gym. And she charged $7,500 for a 12-week transformation because there's information everywhere. You can find information everywhere, but it's the transformation, right? It's that organization. It's all that people will pay for. And once she had that, we could hone in on how to communicate it effectively to those ready to buy clients. We positioned her as the go-to, and within weeks, she had filled her program. So you see, people will pay a premium when you offer clarity and a specific result. And here's something that you really need to hear is that pricing your offer higher often makes it more attractive because your clients will see it as a premium solution. So they don't want cheap. Okay. Cheap often equals low value. They want to invest in something that will actually get them results. And I actually did a video about this. Was it last week or the week before? About the difference between low ticket and high ticket offers and strategies with a lot of details that you can check out here. So I'll put the link to that in the description comments, or I'll have it at the end where maybe I'll point to it and you can just click on it. But here's what you can do. Okay. Write down the top 3 pain points or problems that your ideal client is facing right now. Then think about how you can solve one of those pain points in a way that is specific, it's clear, and it delivers measurable results. Then, if you need help figuring out how to package it or package that into a high ticket offer around what you specifically offer, then I have something that you're going to love at the end of this. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. This is step 3, is to systemize and automate your business. So the key to scaling to 6 figures is automation. And this is where so many entrepreneurs get stuck. There's so much to this, right? Uh they're trying to do everything themselves, like we talked about. They're manually responding to emails, booking calls, following up with leads, and even handling all their client interactions. And it's really a recipe for burnout, like I talked about before. What you need are systems that work for you 24/7. Like, imagine having a well-oiled machine that takes care of the day-to-day tasks while you focus on the big picture on growing your business. And that's where automation comes in. So automation is like building a conveyor belt in your business. Picture a factory. If every product had to be assembled by hand, the factory would be incredibly slow, right? But when a conveyor belt and machinery come into play, products get assembled consistently, efficiently, and quickly with very little human intervention. And that's what automation does for your business. So let me break this down for you. I'm gonna take a sip of water first, real quick. So let's take email and text automation, right? Imagine just setting up an email sequence and text sequence that automatically nurtures leads while you sleep. Whether someone downloads your freebie or signs up for a webinar, they're entered into an email sequence that builds that know, like, and trust factor, shares your story, and primes them for your high ticket offer. And let me assure you that if you're not quick to respond to these prospects, there's probably gonna be a competitor who is. Okay. I'm just gonna put that out there. So scheduling tools also, just stop the back and forth. Stop the back and forth emails and texts to set up appointments. Use tools like Calendly or OneHub that sync your calendar and let potential clients book calls at times that really work for them automatically. That's probably the least expensive thing that you could invest in that would, save you time. It really doesn't cost much. Okay. And then there's the CRM system. So CRM stands for a customer relationship management tool, like Go High Level. That's what I use. I love it. I've gone through a bunch of them. I've gone through Entreport. I've gone through HubSpot. I've gone through ConvertKit. I've gone through, I don't know, you name them, MailChimp, everything. Go High Level for me is a game changer. It helps you keep track of every lead, automate follow-up, scheduling, payments, emails, texting, your funnels, websites, social media management, landing pages, you name it. It's got everything. And it also manages your entire sales pipeline seamlessly. I just love it. And for like the price, right? Because I think when I was with HubSpot, I was paying over a thousand a month, and it just kept going up and up and up because I had so many contacts on my list. And it just kept getting more and more expensive. But with Go High Level, it stays at that same price no matter how many contacts you have, which is amazing. So anyway, here's a story. Here's a story from one of my clients. She was spending hours each day, excuse me, hours each day managing her calendar, DMing people, and responding to emails. And she really felt overwhelmed and out of control. But once she implemented my CRM, it's simple, right? And automated the email follow-ups and all the texts and everything. She was able to free up 30 hours a month, at least, probably more, but at least 30 hours a month. I mean, that's time that she could then spend on higher level strategies that grew her business, right? Her revenue doubled within 6 months because she wasn't bogged down by all these manual tasks anymore. And it just gives her that freedom to focus on selling her $4,000 program over and over and over again. And it only cost her $150 a month out of that, right? So it's a no-brainer, no-brainer. The successful business owners I know, they take this massive action. So I want you to take massive action today Choose one of those. Choose one area of your business where, whether it's lead generation, client onboarding, or follow-ups, and just implement an automated system, an automation system. You'll thank yourself when you see how much time that it saves. And if you want more information about that CRM that I use that can save you time in your business, you can comment CRM in the comments, and we can reach out to you and set up a call to walk you through it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to step 4, setting up a high converting client pipeline. Okay. Or some might call it a funnel. I'm sure you've heard that before. So let's move on to that. Building this high converting client pipeline. It's a system that consistently brings in clients without you constantly chasing them. I don't know how many DMs I've gotten in the last week because I'm being a little bit more active in my Instagram, and I am getting like, hello, hi there. I get all these like, copy and paste messages like, have you ever heard of this, that, and the other thing? Is it worth the chat? Have you ever thought about doing this? Is it worth the chat? And I'm like, sometimes I reach out and I'm like, how's this working for you? Because I usually just ignore them. And I think a lot of people do too. But anyway, we're getting off topic. So you want clients to come to you. You don't want to be constantly running after them, right? You want them to come to you, and that's what a client pipeline does. So think of a pipeline like this funnel, okay? Like just picture me as the funnel. It's that, wide at the top, and let's imagine there's like rain coming in. The rain are like prospects, right? There's a lot of prospects out there. So it just gives your audience kind of it gives them a place to go, right? So it's like, wait, I'm not explaining this very well. There's a funnel and then it goes into like a barrel, let's say, right? It's catching the rain and it filters into a barrel or leads them from strangers to paying clients. Okay. I'm trying to give this like side by side analogy for you to picture, but I don't know if I'm doing a very good job at it. But anyway, the process is simple but effective. And here's how it works. Okay. First, create what I call a VFO, a valuable free offer. Okay. This is a freebie that gives your audience a taste of what you can do. Okay. It could be a downloadable ebook, maybe a mini video series or a webinar. But the goal is to provide value up front, not teach or not give away, but provide value. There's a distinction there. Position you as the go-to against the competition. Okay. And creating that know, like, and trust within that. Okay. And it also, what positions you as the go-to that solves a major problem that they have and that they're actively searching for. So that there's that timing and there's a strategy behind it. And then it solves a small problem for your audience as well. It also weeds out people that you really wouldn't want to talk to, that would not be a good fit for what you're offering. And then it really just sets the ones that you would ideally want to talk to, or you would want have call you. It sets them up for that call. So it really saves a lot of time. It does a lot of heavy lifting. And when it's done properly, this can get a total stranger that's out there looking for you to buy from you within 24 to 48 hours after discovering you. Okay. It's really powerful. So, yeah. So, I mean, I can't speak enough about that. And then another thing is to build like a nurture sequence. So once someone opts into that lead magnet, they enter into this nurture sequence. Okay. So maybe they signed up for your freebie, but they didn't actually go through it. They didn't implement whatever it was. They were, they got distracted. Maybe they were in the grocery store lineup and saw your ad or whatever. And they're like, oh, this looks good, signed up for it. And then they were next in line and totally forgot about it. Right. But now they're in your email list. So, or maybe the kids are, mom, maybe the kids are calling right after they signed up for it and they just got distracted and just whatever, forgot about it. So these automated emails or texts, or content that continue to really build trust and showcase your expertise, and it deepens their understanding of how you can help them, that will get them to either go through your freebie that they didn't go through, that they signed up for, and or book a call on your calendar. So you're guiding them from being curious to being ready to buy within the sequence. Okay. Another huge thing to have, and also to have automated, and it's very strategically put together. All right. Another thing is then to invite them into a call. Okay. If you're doing a high ticket, you want to have a phone call, because in order to get people results, you need to make sure that they're a good fit, right? You have to, everybody's situation's a little bit different. Yes, all that stuff does a lot of heavy lifting. They're probably 80% of the time, if it's done properly, again, going to be a good fit, but you really want to get on that call. And if you are spending time with them one-on-one, you want to or if they're in a group setting too, you want them to fit in. You want them to be, you want to look for certain traits, right? You don't want to have, for example, maybe someone who's super negative in like a really positive space, or maybe, everybody's like down and out, and then you have this like person, right? Like it doesn't fit. So you want to make sure that they're a good fit to work with you if you're going to be spending time one-on-one with them at all, and also a good fit for the group. You don't want them dragging people down or whatever, right? So like I work with a lot of heart-centered, amazing people, mostly women. I love men too. They're in there. I don't spend a lot of money marketing to men. I usually choose the women, because I feel like there's a lot of men out there that are helping men. I just, whatever. I love men. Don't get me wrong, but we have a lot of women in my group, and a lot of heart-centered women, very loving, very caring, very positive, very optimistic, amazing people. And, so I'm very particular about who I invite into the group. So anyway, invite them into a call after nurturing those leads, and just invite them to take that next step, whether that's booking that strategy call or joining your paid program. Okay. And at that point, they're already primed and excited to be working with you, because you've done all this stuff ahead of time, right? One of my clients, she's a consultant, had been trying to generate leads through cold outreach and social media posts, but was struggling. She was struggling with inconsistent results. She was relying on word of mouth and referrals and stuff like that. But we set up this client pipeline where she offered a free masterclass that addressed her audience's main pain points, and managing their finances as a new entrepreneur. So through her nurture sequence, she shared success stories and tips and small wins. And by the time people were booking calls, they were already sold on her $5,000 package. So in just 90 days, she tripled her client base as well. So here's the kicker. Your pipeline can run on autopilot once it's set up. It takes a lot to set it up. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It does take a lot to set up. But once it's set up, all you need to do is tweak it and optimize it. And you won't have to worry about where your next client is coming from, because your pipeline will be bringing them in consistently. And it's basically 4 steps. It's a post or an ad to that valuable free offer, to a call, to becoming a client. Okay. Pretty simple. Not easy, but simple. So your task, okay, I'm going to give you tasks today. If you don't already have one, or know how to create a lead magnet, valuable free offer, that does all of that heavy lifting, and want that today, so that you can get your ideal prospects reaching out to you and signing up on your list, feel free to DM me, and we can hop on a quick call to go through more details about how to create something like that could work for you specifically. Because again, everybody's different. Every business is slightly different. Who you ideally want to work with is different than who I would probably ideally want to work with, or some of my other clients. And your overall arching vision of how you want your business to to succeed, or whatever, right? Everybody's is a little bit different. So we can sit in, get on a call together. I offer free calls to do this. It's like 30-45 minutes. We can go through it. And then once that's done, you can just set up the automation to guide your leads towards booking a call with you. All right. So before we wrap up, I want to give you an extra tip that can skyrocket your results. one thing many entrepreneurs overlook is how they position themselves in their industry. There's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of noise out there, right? You need to stand out as the go-to expert. And the fastest way to do that is by consistently delivering value and building authority. Authority is key. Authority, authority, authority. There's a way to do it, again, that can get people knowing you, liking you, trusting you instantly. Okay. It happens instantly when you know the exact words to use that resonate deeply with your ready to buy prospects. And I go really deep on this with my clients, and it works like magic when they get it. Okay. So here's the strategy I used with one of my clients. So she started a weekly Facebook Live series where she shared quick tips related to her niche. And after a few weeks, she not only saw her audience grow, but also had leads reaching out to her without any direct selling. Okay. It's not just about posting, it's about strategically positioning yourself as the expert who has the solution that they need. So being able to describe their problem better than they can. Key. Okay. Just let that sit for a minute. So if you're serious about scaling your business to six figures or more while working less, like my client Renee, she was killing it working 2 days a week. Um, don't leave your success to chance. Okay. Hit that subscribe button right now because I have so much more to share with you. And if you're ready to take that next step, join my free masterclass where I will reveal the exact blueprints, more details, okay, that my clients use to land 10K clients with ease. So don't wait because spots are limited. So grab your seat before they're gone. And the link to that will be here in the comments or the description. So to recap, today we covered how to shift your mindset, create high ticket offers, automate your business, and set up a client pipeline that works for you. These are the same steps that help me and my clients reach six figures plus, and they can work for you too. So remember, success is within your reach, but you have to take action, take massive action. I gave you a whole bunch of stuff to work on today. So start today, get ready for your breakthrough, and don't miss my next video where I'll be sharing how to triple your client base in just 90 days with one simple strategy. You won't want to miss it. All right, take care, everyone.